All right. Hello. No, you do not get to speak. All right, what's up? The elevator music goes crazy. Yeah, I have it muted. I have it muted. All right, so hello, everybody. Hello. We got Kai, Spy, Astros, Moore, Blue, Future, CBO, Isaac, Sykesy. You really thought Taco, Arts, Speeder, who's yeah, okay. Boobok, Falk, Touchback, DJ, not DG, Decidui, Epically, Key, Boss, hello. Okay, so for those that don't know, this is going to be a stream where us as the developers are going to give you insight as to what's been happening with development, what's like, we've been really silent as of late, and we want to really just shed some light as to what's going on. And on top of that, we're going to be giving you a little bit of insight as to what we're doing with the game. And after the devs go through their stuff regarding the game, we're going to open up the hang on. We're going to allow questions. We're going to start answering questions from both you, the chat, and the Discord people. I don't know where to point, but yeah. And stuff like that, touchback, we're not going to answer. I mean, we're going to answer real quick, like, we don't have one, and that's about it, but, but yeah, we are going to shed some light. And so, when this starts, I mean, I won't be talking very much, and I'll probably just end up covering, myself with this. Actually, no, I won't. No, I won't. But, let's see. Full screen? I could full screen this? Oh, it's probably going to get rid of the chat. Look. Ah, there we go. Ah, love it. But yeah, I can't really speak too much. I mean, I guess as long as I'm muted to them, it'll be fine. Can't wait to play the game. Yeah, I'm not. I want to make it clear we are not trying to hype this up, because this is just explaining what's going on. All right. Okay, we're just explaining what will be happening. Okay, and then we'll open it up to questions. Don't hype it up, game trash. Yeah, game's trash, guys. Okay, can we get a trailer? We don't have a trailer for you. I'm sorry. Again, this is just, we'll give you a trailer when we're ready to give you a trailer, okay? But anyway, yeah, Warm, I like the idea. Let's like the stream for Feralite, all right? You're gonna learn some stuff. What's the thing that's after the axolotl? Oh yeah, I forgot there's some new stuff in here, isn't there? Yeah. We've revealed a couple new things. Oh, are we starting? All right, but yeah, this is okay. Well, this is Stumpling. True, Speeder, true. Okay, that's right there is Babine. No, it's not out yet. Anarchist, it's not. And then that is Scrattle. So there you go. Those are two new ones we haven't shown. So there you go. Babine and Scrattle. Okay, but yeah, once this starts, we'll be good to go. Oh. Here we are. Oh, did we get a ping? Did we get a ping? Oh my gosh. Is it time? All right. All right, why did I guys choose to only have double battle? Again, we'll answer questions after we're done with our bit up. All right. Oh, he started it. We're getting ready to go. Okay, so you're going to see up there. Oh.
Welcome to the first ever developer FAQ. We will have a 15-minute grace period for those who have yet to join in, and for us to make the final adjustments / preparations.
Bruh.
Please be patient. Thank you very much.
Bruh. 15 minutes? What am I supposed to do here? Twiddle my thumbs? Bruh. What am I supposed to do here? I guess all we could do is cope, huh? Whittle my indexing. Okay. Oh yeah. They're talking in the Discord. Yeah, I will have the VOD for this. This will remain public, I think. Hold up, let me. I don't want it to. Okay, yeah, it will be public after this ends. We should be hyping. Do I? Oh, true. We should be hyping for 15 whole minutes. What's the name of the ferret starter? Well, it would. It's supposed to be a lemur, though I agree with you. It doesn't look like a lemur, but his name is Caspmer. It is Caspmer. It is a ghost type. I am. All right, I look. Okay. Somebody said this before. I agree with the head shape, and you know, kind of the hairstyle, kind of. But I guess that's close enough. Am I right? Casper. Oh, it's Caspmer. All right, we're not doing no Casper. Oh wait. Wait. We're not. Wait, Puffle, no. Puffle, what are you doing? No. Puffle, no. Oh God. Puffle. He is live with a countdown. Okay, sure. Alright, hold up, let me... This, alright. Unless they were hang on. Alright. Okay, big budget? Yeah, I know. We put all the big bucks into this, I know. Did I play the new Doodle World? No, I haven't played Doodle World update. How many people are working on the project? Quite a few. Did the Fire Nation attack? Sure. Yeah, it did. We'll have lots of Robux stuff. What? First I'm hearing. But yeah, we will, for those just tuning into the stream, this little event thing is us as the developers queuing you, the audience, the people waiting to play. We're queuing you in as to what's going on with development, because as we've been pretty silent for a while, and well, Feralite World as a game has been in development for multiple years at this point, and so you know, people are gonna want to know what's going on, right? And so that's what this is all about. We're queuing you in as to, you know, what's happening, what's been happening, and why does my hair look so smooth? Because I have smooth hair, I guess. I don't know. Oh wait, I have noise on here. Hang on. That's where it was. Like, what's the... How do I turn it off again? Oh lord. Notifications. There we go. Sounds. Disable all notifications. All right. But yeah, we're queuing you in as to what's been going on with development and what the current idea of the project is. That's what is happening here. And so, yes, this chat is public and being streamed, right? Actually, I probably shouldn't tell them that, because people are going to start trolling. All right. Speeder is a dev. Yes. Speeder is a dev. What's happening? Speeder pinged his Discord about my stream. Let's go. Let's go. All right, yeah. But yeah, we are currently just waiting for this to start. Looks like, 8 minutes. It's you and your crappy timer. Let's go. Discord link. The link to the Feralite World Discord is in the description. So there you go. It sent me from the other world. Welcome. What does Speeder do? Oh, he and I both work on balance. We work on the balancing aspect. That is us as a team. The game going to be open world. We will. I'd say hold your questions until after our spiel, because we are going to present a bunch of ideas to you, and then any questions you have left over, you guys can ask, and we will answer. Although apparently I've been elected the person to select which questions get asked. So I get they put the stupid filter on high. So there you go. You'll ping? Yeah, okay. But yeah, I guess if you have any preliminary things you want to know about Feralite, like what the starters are, stuff like that, I can answer that while we wait. Because what do I think of Fish? I haven't actually looked at Doodle World since the update. I hear it's broke, though. I hear it got nerfed twice. Like 2 separate times, very quickly after it was released. Alright. What type is Scrattle? He is Earth Critter. It is an Earth and Critter type. So yeah. What type is Bean? He's a nature. Babine is Babine is a pure nature. Scrattle the crab. Kind of looks like one, doesn't he? How many Feralite types are there? We have a type chart we have a type chart. I don't. I guess I could pull it up. I don't remember off the top of my head. That's what I'm basically alluding to there. I don't remember off the top of my head. There are too many type charts to remember. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then like a type we haven't actually revealed, and people are very curious as to what that is. And part 2 comes out, okay. What is up with you? What? You're gonna leak the secret typing. Sand. Yeah, we have the sand type. New type? Oh! Yeah, the last type's gonna be Beans type. Yeah. We're, the reason Babine is a pure nature type is because we're secretly withholding the Bean type. Yep. Yeah, Kai, I definitely didn't have an aneurysm reading all that. Did the Brain Cinematic Universe get canceled by Twitter? No, it did not get canceled. All right. Oh God, 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes. Let's go. 5 minutes until it happens. Let's go. What's the timer for? Until this thing starts. That is what it's type. But what type was Boop? Neutral. Boop is a neutral type move. All right. Happy New Year came really early. Okay. Let's not do that. Bald? Wait, I'm bald. Tech stuff like that, we will questions like that we can answer later when we present, the information. No, we have Speeder is with me, Delta. The timer for until this starts. Yeah, it's me and Speeder. DG, it's probably metal. I mean, I'd have to look again, but it's probably metal. I'd have to assume it's metal. Yeah, it's metal, and it's it's metal. Is pure typing basically lightweight? We don't have a pure type. We do not have a pure type. What's up, Ines? Did I make the ice type fat? Let's see here. Ice, no, it's not fat. It's weak to 1 to 3 typings and resists 2. So. When is the release date? Okay, again, stuff like that. We don't have a release date, so again, this is not trying to hype it up. Okay, we're just answering. We're just giving you guys insight to the game. Is plant type bad like always? Let's see here. No, I wouldn't say so. Resist 5, weak to 4. I would say that's pretty good. How many Snickers bars do the devs eat per week? I'd have to ask them. It's a good question. How many types are in the game? 18 plus a typing we haven't revealed. Is there a worse type? Probably. I would assume so. We're actually looking at Speeder. I'll say this right now because we haven't started this stuff yet. Speeder and I are actually looking at both the Ghost and Dark type because as we're looking at it, they're pretty much the same typing, but Ghost is just better. So yeah, oops. We're gonna have to take another look at that. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck could chuck his move. I already screwed it up. I can normally hit that, but I screwed it up. But yeah. Hello with the development. Yeah, well, thank you very much, B. I think that's how you say your name. Yeah, I would assume B. But yeah. All right. You want to look at Dark? Same, but will fossil Feralites exist? That is a good question for later. That is a good question for later. So like how they were in Pokemon before Fairy. Wait, what Fairy? Why are we talking about Fairy? Confused. Oh yeah, 1 minute until the next timer. You're absolutely right. Absolutely true. I forgot to eat food before this, so I am 1 minute hype. 1 minute hype. Let's go hype in the chat. Hype in the chat! How many grapes have I eaten in the past 39 days? 0. I haven't had grapes in a long time. Bread tastes good? I agree. Hype in the chat! Free to play friendly? I'm hoping so. Depends on how evil people get. See. But I'm hoping it's free. We'll see. That's at least like a whole minute? Yeah. Can you pay to win? We are... I don't know yet. I don't know. You'll have to ask that later. We'll see. All right. Are there more Feralite? Yeah, we have another GIF with text on it. I just don't have it here. I don't have it here, but yeah. All right. Oh.
Alright, seems time is up.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone, to the first ever Dev FAQ. So, before we begin, let me briefly explain how this will go about. First of all, an introduction, cover as to why we have been, well, inactive and all around silent with our development in the past. But, second off, after the introduction, we will then go over what we changed in terms of our game development, because over the course of these years, we have been through a lot of setbacks. These setbacks have taught us many things, such things that made us realize that
Mans is
we need
nervous.
to adopt a brand new direction to the game.
It's been years,
So-
yes.
With that said, let us begin.
Mans is nervous.
First, let us address the elephant in the room. For the past 2 years, we have not been transparent with development. Matter of fact, our lack of progress has been because of our inexperience and demotivation through the setbacks we have experienced. We also have problems with management through this organization and disconnection between the owner and developers because, believe it or not, before we used to have 2 owners. Now, it is just 1 owner, being me.
Dez needs to speak
But
a little slower.
I tried to do my best to split up organization and authority between me and all of the other developers because this is meant to be a passion project. We are all meant to work on this together. There should not be a singular person that just makes a decision.
He is definitely very
and
nervous
with that,
right now. Yeah.
Minty was originally supposed to be the owner, who came in after Mischance.
His apology video.
Now, Minty, he was a great owner, a great guy as well. But we unfortunately had to let him step
I
down
agree,
because of a
Scooter.
variety of reasons. Some reasons we do not wish to say, but to summarize it,
where's the Discord?
Minty loved developing for the game.
You're not going to be able to
However,
get the mic.
the whole management
link is
role
in the
is
description.
just not for him because it's been making a toll on his mental. So
Minty
with
did
that,
step down, yes.
he has stepped down from ownership, but he's still a dev here. He's a designer. But instead, he has passed down ownership to me. So now I am the main person in charge. And ever since, we took a few steps back from development, and we have revisited every single department that we have with the goal of reimagining what we want Feralite World to be. Because we can clearly see that the Feralite World, that the Fakemon genre is not a rare thing to see in Roblox anymore, because many people are doing Fakemon games. So, with that,
Only a
we
couple are
want
going to release anyway.
to take another look at what we have in store for Feralite World, and try to make it stand out more so. So with that said,
yeah, okay.
we'll be starting off with going through each individual department. We'll be establishing any changes/features we have for specific areas, as well as clarifying any setbacks. And now, a bunch of developers who have been chosen to represent each other department will speak on the department's behalf regarding progress on each department. So, and additionally, on top of discussing what's been going on in each department, actually, no, wait. I should mention this.
Oh?
This game is not exactly a Fakemon game anymore. Given the new systems we've put in place, this game is now considered to be an RPG with creature capture elements.
He
This
has
is
a
simply
script.
because we've
He has a
adopted a
script.
brand new philosophy, being that we don't want to make systems revolving around the creature capture genre. In fact, we want to do the opposite. We want to develop systems that we feel is fun and core in any single RPG game, and we want the creature capture
Thaddeus,
to
that's
be
up to you.
integrated into it. So we have much to share in terms of new systems and show, because not only are we going to be talking about what new things we have planned, but we also have brand new screenshots and gameplay clips, albeit heavily work in progress because of another setback, which I believe Puffle will mention.
Just let him cook. Just let him cook.
Yeah, let's begin with the department, shall we? So, well, actually, let me mention the game state/difficulty. So,
Okay.
our game, as we all know, is an RPG. That also means there will be a change in how difficulty will be. In order to accomplish our difficulty in our game, to sum it up, it will not be a type of game that will hold your hand. However, we do not want this game to be frustrating in a sense. However,
hold.
we do want to give the option to allow for higher difficulty in the game. Difficulty should only be dictated based on how careful the player is. So, for instance,
nervous.
if the player is not aware of his or her surroundings, you will not have a fun well,
You're gonna have a
well,
bad
we, well,
time.
we still want players to have fun in the game
You're gonna have a bad
regardless
time.
of whether or not they're frustrated or not. However, this is not going to be the type of game
Thaddeus, you should probably mute one
you
of
can
these.
just
Then
plow through the entire gameplay, but just spamming one
feels
move
like
with one
awkwardly formatted.
overpowered
Yeah,
Feralite.
yeah,
No.
it does. Okay.
It'll.
Good.
You'll need to watch out for your surroundings as well as plan
Yes.
ahead accordingly.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Mans is so nervous. he would have.
So,
I feel like it would have had. No, he has a script.
I think I've said my part here. I will now bring it to the other developers.
He has a script.
to
He's
discuss
just
their
really
departments.
nervous. He doesn't want this to go poorly.
On the order in which we will review every department is that we will start with scripting, get immediately into the gameplay, then we'll discuss story, and then balance/combat, then music, designs, and design part 2, because we have adopted another thing that we want to integrate into design, which is
Now
called
he's off
ecology.
script and. Okay.
Models, we're going to cover that one. Animations, buildings, visuals, which is the UI and the VFX. And to finish it off, we are going to discuss about demo and
He is
testing,
Oh,
as well as
demo and
starting
testing?
as well as beginning questions and answers. So if you guys have questions in regards to development, we'll have 15 minutes to pick them out and answer them. And to finish it off, we will put in our last few thoughts going forward. So, all right, let's see here.
All right. He is very nervous, and oh boy.
All right, Puffle, now's your chance.
Puffle!
Yes, the first one is scripting, and this is our scripter right here. His name is Puffle. Say hi.
Hello.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Before I begin, the team and I believe it's important to acknowledge that we unfortunately had to fire our previous and only scripter a few months ago due to various internal issues. This meant progress in the scripting department has been heavily set back, particularly due to the loss of various foundational scripts. As of late December, I joined the team as the new scripter, and we're currently doing our best to catch up to the progress we had prior. At present, various systems are being worked on, but perhaps the most important one is the battle engine. I'll refrain from going into detail, but we'd like to show a short clip showing some of the progress thus far.
All right, here we go. This is a little clip of the battle engine. Oh, clips in.
It's important to... is it up?
Where is it?
Oh, yeah, it's been posted. There you go.
Okay.
I should probably mention this first. All the clips and all screenshots which we will
Hold up.
post will be posted in the devlog. So if you wish to see the clip of the combat system, view the devlog.
Okay. Well,
It's right there.
Okay, it's important to acknowledge that throughout the early stages of development, demo through beta, we have a lot of systems to go through. As such, we are currently on the lookout for the possibility of having a second scripter on the team. However, this is not set in stone and things may very well change. Don't really have anything else to add, so I'll just hand to Mario to talk about the story.
All right. Here's the clip. This is very much a work in progress, but yeah.
There will be quite a lot to talk about the story because we do want this game to be story driven. So
But
I'm
yeah,
sure
this
Mark
is-
has
this-
quite a
again,
lot
this
to
is
say.
very much heavy work in
And
progress.
I
Okay.
do. Hello, everybody. A lot of you may not know me, so allow me to introduce myself. I'm Mario Guzzi, audio designer and writing director for Feralite World. For this segment of the development at FQ, I'm here to speak to you all about Feralite World's story, how we're planning to write it, as well as how we're planning to create it into something completely revolutionary. For starters, Feralite World's lore will be very extensive. To be quite honest, and pardon my level of humility,
Yeah, focus.
but it may have the most lore out of any other story RPG on the Roblox platform. Unfortunately, I can't say too much about it for now, but rest assured that our lore will have many players analyzing and theorizing for hours on end. As for Feralite World's actual story, what the player experiences through the game, we want it to be the driving force behind the game itself.
Yeah, this new Pokemon.
We want to
going
break the mold
hard.
of previous Pokemon games on the Roblox platform. To do this, we'll try to put as much work as we can into the characters we create and write for. We feel like the characters you meet throughout a game really reflect the game's story, as they are the core components that really convey the actual story to a player. Therefore, all of Feralite World's characters will be dynamic in their own ways. We'll try our best to steer away from common tropes most Pokemon games have nowadays, but do note that our main goal is not to discourage them. As you progress through the game, you will watch these characters and your companion change and grow as you, the player, influence their perception of the world that they are in, which in return will shape them into whatever personality you're directing to have in the game. That being said, a grand majority of Feralite World's story will consist of a wide variety of choices, ranging from dialogue choices to action choices, and you yourself, who is making these choices, will see the world itself change as the decisions you are making will affect the rest of your environment. There will come times when you must make hard choices, and making those choices will result in the happy outcomes you might like, as well as the not so cheerful consequences, or maybe even outcomes you may have never even expected. From then on, those big choices will change your game entirely going forward. And it'll really make you wonder,
they're nervous, so
what if I hadn't made that choice? What would have happened if I said this to her? Or what would have happened if I didn't do that for him? Like you, these decisions really make me ponder the possibilities of different outcomes. But in the end, it's up to you, the player. Your perception of things is the only sense influencing your decisions.
Funny enough, it's almost my turn, so I'll be answering that here in a second.
If anybody has any questions regarding the story, please let me know during the FAQ section of this meeting. Some questions I'll either respond very vaguely, or I won't be able to respond to them at all, as some might be a bit spoilerish for the time being. Thanks for listening, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of the FAQ.
Okay. Well, my turn. Here we go, boys.
Alright. Now to move on to balance/combat.
Hi.
What's up, everybody?
All right. Let's fix this stuffy feeling in the room. All right.
Let's
We got the streamers on the chat now.
Yeah, let's go.
And he's a first timer, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No worry. I get why you're nervous.
No worries.
All right.
Yeah,
so
go nuts.
yeah, it's okay. Our turn. Let's go. Okay. So
Let's go.
first things off, when you're dealing with Feralite combat, this game is going to be 99.9% doubles. Two things on the field,
Right.
as you saw earlier, at all times. Besides maybe like the start of the game, who knows? But yeah, the reason we're doing this is one, it's easier to balance. When you're working with one format, we don't gotta worry about all the, the interactions between singles, doubles, triples, whatever you want to do. But yeah, it's all doubles, much easier to balance. Second, if our preferred PvP format is doubles, we want the story to reflect that. So while you're playing through the game, everything will be doubles because, well, it's prepping you for, player interactions. It's all doubles. And it just, it introduces players to that kind of game flow. Now, as part of the balance team, it is going to be our job to, balance the game. And that doesn't just extend to only PvP, but we are also covering the story. So, if it's too hard, one, skill issue, but two, that's our fault. So you could take all your complaints to us and we can choose whether or not we're going to laugh or not. But if you're on my stream right now, I got one thing to say to you. Cool.
Totally doing the cope gif right now. I'm not watching.
Yeah,
just so you guys
I
know,
totally
the
am.
first battle is gonna be level 100. You have to deal with it.
I'm sorry, no, sir. But anyway, yeah, it's Speeder. Your turn. Go.
And on the topic of like story progression, and we were talking about our balancing, you might be wondering what happens inside of the battle. We have a lot to cover on the inside of the battle. We're gonna talk about battle mechanics now. Something that you might be wondering is what about like luck-based things? That is entirely removed. Let's say, for example, like if you have like a move, it's gonna hit. If a move says it's gonna paralyze, it's gonna paralyze every single time. There's no RNG. If a move says it's gonna do something, it will always happen. And that's really fun to balance. And you might be wondering, how exactly would that be like fair?
There are no damage rolls.
We can get into that later. And now you might be wondering about like other important things. If you're a PvP person, you'll know about speed ties. How do you balance speed ties in a game with no luck? Well, there's actually a really cool thing we came up with, I think.
Cool is pushing it, but
at the very beginning of any battle that you go into, if it's a PvP battle, you are going to have a speed token, and that speed token, whoever has that token, will always win speed ties. So if you win a speed tie, that speed
Jamie,
token
we'll
will
let
go
you
to your
pay to go
opponent.
first.
If they win a speed tie, it'll go back to you, and so on and so forth. So basically, you're going to be able to know if you're going to win a speed tie at all times.
Yep. That is the key purpose of this. You know, we want all the information to be available at any given point.
Yeah.
So.
Isaac, no, it is not RNG get the token first. It's going to depend on who sends the battle request first, which is going to be really fun. And plus, with the story, I'm pretty sure we're gonna make it so the your enemy always has a speed token first.
Yep. During the story, you will always lose speed ties.
Yeah.
You will always lose speed ties.
You will always lose them first. And that's the fun part.
Yeah. So make sure you're faster, I guess. But what we got? Oh yeah. So we're talking about speed, right? Stats. Okay. So a very common thing a lot of games like to do, a lot of these kinds of games like to do, is powering your party up. And obvious, like we're really not supposed to talk about other games, but you know, with stat boosts and stuff, they generally reset when you swap out, because that's, you know, how that goes. But we're going the route where they're going to stick around. You're getting them for the entire battle. So if you raise your attack at all, it's there the entire battle. You get your defense dropped, it's there the entire battle. So, yeah, when we're talking about all that, we're talking about, but wasn't the purpose of crits, aka an RNG factor, supposed to bypass those stat boosts? If there's no RNG and your stat boosts change, your stat boosts stick around the entire battle, how are you supposed to get around all that? This is where we're going to start talking about some statuses, because there's a status in the game known as primed, right? It is going to, essentially, while you're primed, your moves will always do this thing known as piercing, which, that you could probably put 2 and 2 together. It's going to bypass the stat changes. So that is how you'll get around stat changes, and there will be plenty of things to pierce and enable piercing and all that stuff. But while we're on the topic of status, that is a huge emphasis in this game. Huge. Because all statuses are timed. You do not, when you're inflicted with one, you are not going to have it for the rest of the battle, right? It is, if you're a poison, for example, it'll only be for 2 or 3 turns, depending on what the move is. And regarding statuses, you can have 2 of them on your Feralite at any point in time. So, yeah, you could be poisoned and burnt at the same time, and you just get to suffer. It's as simple as that. And regarding that, you can actually inflict them with a 3rd status. However, that 3rd status is actually just going to take off the oldest one they have. And so that's going to be a big part of like the battles, is maneuvering the statuses you have on your Feralites, because you're definitely going to want to learn, because at some point you're going to run into something known as Doom, and I know Speeder loves this, so I'm going to let him handle it.
My turn.
His turn. Let him know.
Doom is my favorite freaking status. Oh my god. So whenever Eat first introduced me to the idea of this status, oh my god, I immediately was like, I'm on board. Every single meeting we do together, I always mention, can we add Doom? And
No.
he doesn't let my dreams come true. Come on, man.
We're preparing for the start of the game. Why do we want to put Doom on them?
Just add Doom. Okay, whatever. But basically, what Doom is if you are inflicted with Doom, once that status runs out, you're dead. You just immediately die. But you might be thinking, it works kind of like Perish Song. You might be thinking to yourself, that's overpowered. But it's gonna be like a very, very long like timer, like 7-8 turns is gonna be till it actually goes down. So the idea of you maneuvering your statuses makes Doom a very scary one, because if you're not good at maneuvering your statuses and getting rid of them, Doom can be a very big problem. But if you're very good at it and you're experienced, you'll be fine, I hope.
I just want to throw it out there. A lot of people are mentioning Perish Song. And, you know, the counterplay to Perish Song is, you switch out of the battle.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about statuses in Feralite World. Yeah, they're going to continue to tick down even if you're off the field. So if you're poisoned, you're still taking poison damage in the back. I'm just saying.
So you can't switch out. You can't switch out to preserve Doom. It will go down. There's nothing you can do
will
to
faint
stop
off the field. You have to get rid of it.
And then there is another status that is just so my favorite. One of my other favorites. Oof. But one of my favorite statuses was Daze. Now you might be like terrified, like, oh my god, confusion, what do we do? We found the greatest thing for Daze. Basically, just keep it as in short, Daze is never going to hit the target that you're trying to target.
This is true.
In short, to explain it. So if you want to give me a rough explanation, if you have your opponent to the right in front of you, and you used a move when you were dazed, it's going to hit your teammate. And if you hit the opponent to the left side of the field, it's going to hit the guy on the right side of the field. And if you hit your teammate, it's going to hit the guy on the left side of the field. So basically, it just moves one over, is what Daze does.
Yeah, it's very annoying. It's actually so annoying that, you know.
That, you know, the greatest thing in the world? Puffle got skill checked. When he was testing it out, he got skill checked by Daze.
He indeed fell for the skill check that is Daze. It's
it was
great.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's great.
Sorry, Puffle. I'm never gonna.
You're never gonna live this up. We're never gonna let you. Mans was testing it, and he got skill checked. It was amazing.
It was awesome.
But
now there's another important thing that I think Eat can go ahead and explain.
Yeah. Okay. So I've seen a lot of things in like my chat and the live chat in the Discord. Y'all are talking. I saw a strategy where you just spam Daze and then wall yourself out with Protect so that they can't hit you and stuff. That's not gonna work, because there's another feature known as Charge Time, where you have to wait a certain amount of turns before you can use a move. So, oh wait, where's my music? Hold up. Sorry, Discord.
Did your music die? Come on, man.
My music died. Sorry. Anyway, regarding charge time, yeah, you have to wait a certain number of turns before you could use different moves. And the amount of turns you have to wait is going to vary from move to move. And of course, there will be some moves you don't have to wait at all for. But, yeah, you're not going to be able to just spam whatever the heck you want.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Oh, does energy exist? Actually, I can't believe we forgot to put that in the
script. We actually did forget to talk about it.
We did forget to put that.
I guess we could go ahead and talk about it. But one thing before we go into energy, charge time works differently from, like, say, statuses and, like, stat changes. Basically, you have to be on the field for the timer to go down. You can't just stay like in your party until like a 9 charge time move is like down to 0. You have to actually be on the field for like 3 turns before your 3-turn charge time move can be used.
And now I saw concern in my stream chat about too many new features and new players getting overwhelmed. And honestly, you're absolutely right. And that's why the plan is to slowly introduce a lot of these things and make sure players are aware of what they're dealing with. Okay. I completely agree with, if we were to just drop this all on a player, they'd be like, what am I doing? What am I doing? But yeah, we plan on, letting people figure it out over time. We don't We don't want to overwhelm and overheat a brain. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. But
Now, energy.
Yeah. Oh
You
wait,
go
we're
ahead and
talking.
talk about energy.
Oh
I
yeah,
think you're
I
more-
forgot we haven't talked about it. Yeah, this game is also going to. This game is going to. Oh god, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah,
You
this
got it.
game's
It's
going to
gonna
run
have
off of an
lower energy.
energy system. There we go. I got it. I'm back.
Mhm. There you go.
Yeah, you're going to have a stamina bar, energy bar, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a resource that ticks down as you use moves, and when you reach 0, you can't really use the moves because each move is going to cost a certain amount. At the end of every turn, though, every Feralite is going to get a little bit back, and yeah, that is the system we are balancing everything around, the energy system.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now that that's
And-
covered.
Another little important thing is energy is not like LL. It's a lot lower.
How dare you compare to another game while we're doing this? How dare you?
say it? They were asking.
We answer questions later.
Okay, fine.
I'm joking.
Now
What about EVs and IVs? We will get to that in a little bit.
that is very soon.
All right.
Now, in regards, you know other important battle mechanics, such as like leftovers, choice band. You might be wondering, like, what about items? And
we don't
something
need to
cool
take that long. For
is
this.
in regards to all held items, you will be able to hold 2. One consumable item and one static item. So, for example, let me just give you an example so you guys can understand how this works. Basically, you could hold a citrus berry and a choice scarf, for example. Because the citrus berry is consumable, but the choice scarf is static.
Two hands, man. 2 hands.
Yep, that's right.
Unless
2
you don't have
hands
hands,
do a
then
lot of
we
different
just
things.
do magic, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, citrus berry plus leftovers, you can do a lot of different things, but that's going to be really fun to balance around. Focus Sash and Shell Bell.
All right. And
Uh,
now, with all that out of the
here it
way, here's Speeder's favorite
Here's what
thing.
what I've been so excited for.
What you've been waiting for. They don't know.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. When it comes to customizing your Feralite stats, so I'm just gonna say this, such as like EPs and stuff.
EVs,
you know-
IVs. Yeah, let's just get out of the
Yeah.
way. EVs,
Yeah,
IVs.
just EVs and IVs, you know that sometimes it's a little irritating to get the perfect IVs and then EV train, right? We decided when figuring out how to balance this to chuck IVs out the door. Who cares? No one likes IVs.
IVs
So-
are lame.
Yeah, basically, if you catch a random shiny, it's gonna be PvP immediately. You don't have to care about it having good IVs, nothing like that. Now, you might be wondering, what about EVs? Well, if you guys are watching each stream, you guys could go ahead and see something.
I'm putting it in. I'm putting it in devlog.
Oh, okay. You guys
All
can go
right.
ahead and take a peek at devlog, and you guys are gonna. I'm gonna talk about it.
I don't have a fancy message like Puffle, but yeah, Speeder can talk about it.
As you guys can see, inside of the devlog, there is a huge grid of a bunch of stats you can get.
This didn't
This
work very
is
well.
the skill tree of Feralite World. Essentially, you're gonna be able to choose the path of stats that you want from so many choices. And the idea is, you might be wondering about these little yellow things. Those are known as like just passives. Basically, you can get those and those will passively happen. We're not going to go too in depth about passives, but just know that they are an option. And the idea is every Feralite is going to be able to at least fill out 2 entire white nodes. So let's say, for example, if I wanted to go like a speedy attacker, you can fill out every white node of speed and every white node of attack. Basically, that'd be how much nodes I get.
Okay.
And
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off here, but I'm seeing a lot of
didn't have
question
to
marks.
Cut me off.
I'm seeing a lot of question marks. This is going to be something you can slowly unlock over time for every Feralite. And I also want to
Mhm.
say every grid's going to be the same because heck, making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different. Oh God, no! Please spare me. But yeah,
You got it.
yeah, this is going to be something you unlock over time. And so, like, while this looks very overwhelming, because, you know, you just see all this, and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this information, right? You're basically only going to see a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
And so, it's not going it's not going to look as confusing as this, because this is just a rough concept. This is just a rough like mock-up of what we want it to be. Okay, I get that this looks overwhelming. We're definitely not going to let it be overwhelming. Okay.
Yeah, and some other thing is, you might be wondering. You can see there is an HP, an attack, a special attack, speed, special defense. Where the heck's energy? Energy ain't there, man. So the first idea was we were to combine both energy and HP together, which is why you can see, if you look closely, on the HP skill tree, you can see that there are actually 2 extra passives, both for energy. But if you look on all of the other skill trees, there is none of them. There's no other extra things. We wanted to kind of combine HP and energy, and we didn't really... Originally, we had a... How do I explain this? It's the HP, attack, special attack, speed is all that, so you know which direction of the skill tree you're going. We decided to add 10 energy in. 1, because it actually like crushed the skill tree and it like collided. It was scary. But adding the 10 energy in allows you to invest a little bit into energy without having to go toward the energy passive if you want to get a bit of energy.
I hear you, B. I really do.
So that is something to note.
I know.
And
like I said, looking at that raw,
nerd to take over this
looking at that raw looks very intimidating. I promise it's not going to look as well. I'm sorry, I was just answering some concerns in
okay.
chat. But
Your
yeah,
turn.
I get it. It looks intimidating. We are going to do our darndest to make sure that it's not as intimidating as it seems.
Yeah.
All right. Now for the part like maybe 4 if you care about. Regarding balance patches, we want them. We don't want them to be super frequent. We don't. I hate comparing games. I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want it to be Doodle World, where it happens every other day. And we don't want it to be Lumion Legacy. But yeah, we're going to have it happen every now and then.
Yeah.
Hold up. I have to read my little note here.
You got this.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, we don't want them to be very frequent because obviously we want people to have time to actually digest what's happening in a given meta. But fear not if there's something entirely super duper ooper whooper broken. We're not going to.
We'll give it a look.
We'll look at it.
Yeah, we'll just look at it. We're like,
All right, now for my crappy transition here, yeah, we're pretty much set our piece here. I know we took up like half an hour. It wasn't actually half an hour, I don't think, but but with any good battle comes great music, right? And so we're gonna have Nate here, Alpha, whatever. I don't know. Alpha. Yeah, he's gonna take the stage here and let you in on where the music's going. So, yeah, hopefully I'll enjoy the rest of what's happening here.
Enjoy. If you have any questions, we'll answer them at the end.
Now, unfortunately, Nate will not be available here today because he has some conflicts with his schedule. But what he did do is that he left a recording of what he had to say in regards to the music department. So with that, I want to bring Mario here, who's going to stream the whole video for you guys.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it, B.
Have
don't
fun
worry.
and watch.
Yep, here you go,
I
guys.
completely understand your concern. And it was...
Oh, and I suggest turning the volume up for this stream because it's a bit quiet. So
Yeah.
Yep. Enjoy.
Yep, have fun.
Hey guys, Alpha Wolf Music here. Due to a prior engagement, I unfortunately can't be here today
Mario,
to contribute
is the
to
sound
the
on?
FAQ portion of the...
Yeah, it's
Yes. You can't hear anything.
My bad. It was here for me.
Come on, guys. Yeah, this is Alpha Wolf. Yep.
today. However, with that being said, I still wanted to be the one to share with everyone what's been going on the music side of things. So
Oh, wait,
I
let me turn off
decided
my
to do
music.
this video so I can be able to do that. And afterwards, if anyone has any questions, my DMs are going to be open, and I'd be happy to take the time to answer them. It just might not happen right away. So, without further ado, I'm just going to dive right in. And again, any questions, my DMs are open. So, as the focus and ambitions of the game have shifted, my approach to the music has definitely taken an exciting turn. Speaking on the wild combat music specifically, Guess and I have agreed that we want the music to have a more dynamic approach to it. The music that I already completed is going to be used still, but we're just going to be expanding upon the concept. So, to kind of give you guys an idea of what I mean when I say dynamic music, that basically means it's going to change based on the situation you're in, but essentially still be the same music. As an example, imagine you're approaching a Feralite out in the wild in a very sneaky way, and now suddenly you're going to hear music. It's not overly exciting, but it's enough to create that sense of urgency, like, ooh, I want to catch the Feralite without battling it. I need to be very careful. But then the Feralite hears a noise, or maybe you did something to make it notice your direction, but now that's going to make the music get louder and a little more urgent. You're about to be caught. You got to be more careful, otherwise it's going to catch you. But let's say you're beyond the point of no return. Now the Feralite has caught you. It knows you're there, and it's going to chase you. Now the music's going to reflect that. It's basically going to sound like chase music. And at this point, you have two options. You can either run away, or you can engage the Feralite. And if you choose to engage it, the normal turn-based combat that we've shown you guys is going to engage,
for you guys later.
And we're going to hear the wild battle music that I've already shared with you. And if you run, eventually the chase music will fade out once you're safe, or it can also catch you, which will engage the turn-based combat anyways. So that's kind of what I mean by, dynamic music. It's very changing and exciting. Now, speaking on the rest of the music, while I will be handling the majority of the tracks, I feel I must mention the efforts of Mario Guzzi. We originally brought him in to do sound effects for us, but he has some other talents as well, including composition. He's taken on a few tracks to lighten my load a little. He's gotten involved with the story and generally brought a lot of passion to our project. So in general, I'm excited for you guys to hear what he's done for us, and I can't thank him enough. You guys should be giving him your thanks as well. And I'm also excited to announce that on the music end of things, we're nearly done for the release of demo. There's a few more things that I have to do. There's a few more things that Mario has to do. But generally, we're all set to go. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. I always like sharing my music, and I haven't always been able to do that because a lot of the names reveal spoilers about what's going to be happening in the game. But I've been given the green light by Guess to start sharing a little bit more, even if I have to not share the names in order to do that. And as a show of good faith, I will be sharing the name of this track, but I'm going to be sharing a track with you guys now.
Oh, live premiere.
This is the music that's going to play when you engage in a trainer battle. It's really the most proud that I've been of a track since I've joined the project, and I really hope you guys like it.
Okay. I haven't heard this. He's kept this away from the devs. Oh boy. I can't believe I've never heard this. This is so good. I like this a lot. Alright, I'm gonna start the loop. Okay. Oh, buddy. Oh, I like that. Will this be on
So,
YouTube?
yeah, that's a track that really means a lot to me.
I assume
I'm
it will.
really excited for release, and I really hope that brought you the same amount of excitement. I'm going to try to schedule this track to be released on my YouTube channel later tonight, but that may have to wait until tomorrow morning. I'll keep you guys updated.
There you go.
Either way, thanks for coming out to the FAQ. Thank you for all the support for the game. We really love you guys, and don't give up on us yet. We're doing great things. See you guys next time.
All right, if you missed that, yeah, he will be posting it
I
on
must say,
YouTube.
is with devs like these is what keeps Feralite World to be something more than just a simple Fakemon game. Now, let us move on to the designs.
Design.
Yeah, the designs. So for that, Hannah, do you mind coming up?
Yes.
Oh, you already
She's
up.
already there. She's already there.
So, before I start my portion here, I must say that I was not supposed to do the designer part 1. Spooky was supposed to do this, but unfortunately their PC is broken right now. So it will be me doing this, and I will be doing the next 3 sections: designer 1, designer 2, and modeler.
She's hard
So I'll
carrying
be
both
I'll be
development
up here
and
for
the
quite
meeting.
a bit, but I have a lot to share with you guys. So we'll get started, and I just want to help Spooky with, well, say thank you to Spooky for helping with the points I'm going to share. They did write quite a bit of what I'm going to speak about. So anyways, on the topic of that, we will begin designer 1. So as of late, the design department has been going really smooth. We've been able to organize better. We're prioritizing what's needed, basically. Right now, actually, we've reorganized everything, and we have 3 sections to the designer department. We have Feralite designers, character designers, and environmental designers. So, throughout the course of development, we're going to talk about Feralite designs here first.
Let me know if
We've
it's too
had
loud.
so many changes with our Feralites.
Or
As
too
our
quiet.
developers have improved, our concepts have improved too. And that includes the ideas behind the concepts, the designs themselves, and so on and so forth. And so now, in order to
That's
get
'cause she was
across my
nervous.
point right now and what we have to say ahead here,
Very nervous.
I want to reveal a Feralite today.
Ooh, we're revealing. Oh wait, revealing a Fairlight.
We will be revealing the concept art, the model, and the animations. I will
Animations.
go ahead and post this in the devlog right now.
Okay,
Some
hold
of
on.
you may recognize what this is, but we have never officially fully revealed this Feralite. And so,
Give.
meet Fuba, the rookie Feralite. Fuba was designed by Prisma Man, and Spooky took the concept, polished it, finalized it, line art, everything.
Fuba.
They did a great job with the design. Absolutely love it. And model animations shared later. And actually, eventually we are planning on showing our the original designs for everything. Those will come on the FAQ. I know that, I mean, not the FAQ, sorry, the wiki. So far, we are going to show the original starter designs, actually. The original base starter designs, they will be on the wiki once the wiki is finalized. Thank you to Tepig and the server for getting ahead with the wiki. It means a lot to us. And we're able to share more than just the models and the finalized Feralites. Anyways, but the Feralite design department isn't actually just designing Feralites. There's more to the design department than just designs. So, for Feralite World, we've had discussions as a development team about what we should do for icons, and we have decided to stick with sprites. Sprites include bag items, Feralites, and other such
He
things.
likes sprites. I like pixel art.
And
I love pixel.
Axo is the one who makes all of our sprites. Currently,
Hold up.
I think we have most of the ones planned for demo done.
She was typing. She was typing.
So, earlier, Speeder and Eat did show the skill tree actually, and the skill tree had Tazzard sprite. And I wanted to show a bit more sprites to you guys. So in devlog right away, I will post the sprites for Skitlamander, Wyvorm, Aburantis, and Fuba.
Maybe? Hold.
Sorry, I've got too many files here.
Hold. There we go.
And nothing to see here. NTSH helped out with the Skitlamander one. And yeah, I am very nervous. So
Don't
be
worry.
patient. I'm trying to think here. So our sprites have been improving too. We have gone through them a few times, but now these ones are finalized.
I couldn't tell you him.
And actually, we're planning on creating specific sprites for prismatics, and the prismatic ones will not only have the color change, but it'll also have the pattern change too. So that's something to look forward to. And right now we're just focusing on the Feralites. However, I am wanting to shift our attention over to the designers. Well, designers for characters. Right now, as a dev team, we've kind of moved away from Feralites because, well, we've been focusing on Feralites for too long. So of course we have to focus on characters for a bit too. We have two sections for our characters. We have the major characters and the NPCs. Each of which will have unique designs. Of course, the NPCs will kind of be like, well, we'll have a few different NPC designs that will just be reused. But we still have unique designs for them, and I'm also wanting to share some of those with you guys.
Okay. Oh wait, I forgot we were showing.
I
forgot so much about this.
Character designer Frozlazi has made 2 NPC designs they are wanting to show. Those of which being Artist Male and Flower Lady. And so these are 2 characters that you guys will see
Again,
throughout your journey.
Concept design.
They won't be any major characters. They might just be standing around looking to battle you or looking to give you a quest. However, they will
These are concept.
They will appear throughout the journey.
Actual models.
And so we have NPCs, right? But we also have some major characters we are hoping to share with you guys too. So I will. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I'm grabbing all the stuff. I have a lot of stuff here to show you guys. 3D models, those will be later. Right now, we're going over the concepts. So we're hoping to share this major character. The character, I want you guys to meet Professor Berta.
Oh.
And she is the Chief Scientific Officer of the Feralite Labs. And
early concept.
You will be starting your journey with the aid of Professor Verta and another character, which will be later on in the modeling department. And
like an early concept.
And yeah. So far we've talked about Feralites and characters. Now we should move over to the environmental artist. So the environmental artist is a new section that we have added to the development team. Basically, the whole point of having an environmental designer is so that we can go through some art, we can gain inspiration, and we'll have, of course, more concepts to show you guys. We can get ideas and yada yada yada. So far right now, as for like routes and actual environments, they are still in the early stages. However, our environmental designer, Spring Dragon, they have been working very hard to make buildings, furniture, etc., etc. And I have something very special I want to show you guys. So,
go again.
You guys know fast travel. It's something you want in every game. Fast travel is essential.
We love fast.
We've come up with a unique idea for fast travel, and Spring Dragon has made a concept for that. And that concept is the Wyvorm Taxi.
They call it unique. This is
So the
Corviknight,
Wyvorm
but okay.
Taxi be in almost every town, and you'll be able to go wherever you want. And yes, that is the Plurmeva.
Yep, Y-Farm is the final
So
evolution
thank you
of
to
Plurm.
Spring Dragon for the amazing concept art. I'm sure once we get the environments settled, we'll probably share those. And so
Yes, Bluey.
designer team
It is indeed.
as a whole, that is it for that little section. However, with the environments, this will bring me on to my next topic, which Gez actually talked about a little bit at the start. And that is the ecology. We put this in the designer section because this goes well with how the Feralites are designed. It's actually a point of interest for me. So, in Feralite World, we are wanting the game to remain dynamic. We don't want everything to be just a blank state. So, we are going to put attention into ecology. And for those who don't know, ecology is how things behave in environments. So, we're looking for the game to be realistic, basically. We are going to put genuine interactions with Feralites in the environment. So, I have a few examples here. Each Feralite will have their own behavior, and some of these examples include Denoki. Sometimes you'll walk around and you'll see Denoki underground. It'll be like a little lump. You see Denoki, and yeah, they just kind of sit there and hide. You do have to pay attention though, or Teriokai, they tend to watch over Denoki, so you might be
This
chased
is
down by
Denoki.
Teriokai,
Teriokai
which
is its
isn't
evolution.
not a good idea. And Skitlamander. So in its name, skittish. Very skittish little dude. So whenever you try to approach Skitlamander, he'll run away. So you have to be sneaky, and you have to sneak up on it. You have to be quick, and bam, you can get yourself a Skitlamander. And I believe there will be crouching, so there is a way to do this. And some Feralites, I cannot mention which Feralites yet, they will have fruits. You can go harvest fruits from these Feralites, and the fruits actually will play another role later on in Alpha, but I cannot tell you guys what purpose. It will be a very exciting thing to announce when the time comes. Next one, we do have pack Feralites. So Feralites that live in a pack and chase you down. You want to stay away from them if you don't want to battle them, because you might just get attacked by a whole group of Feralites. Yes, horror game. There are a few Feralites that will attack you. And so actually, speaking of Feralites that will attack you, we have a specific Feralite plan, and this Feralite will sneak up on you and steal your item and run away. It'll drop your item, but it will just be a pain. It will grab your item and run.
We had to change.
It will run with your item and it'll drop it. So, kind of have to watch your back with that Feralite. You don't want your stuff stolen. It's probably give it a knife now.
What? What?
And finally, the last point I have here is mimicry. There will be a Feralite that uses mimicry to its advantage, and I can't give the exact details, but you have to be careful. You might not know what's real and what's not real. That's all I can say. And so for the descriptions that I'm making for Feralites, I will be keeping their behaviors in mind. The description will tell you if you should avoid Feralites, if they're friendly, etc., etc. And basically, you'll be able to do research, quote-unquote, on Feralites. So example, if you manage to get a Feralite of a specific kind, it will tell you some of the behavior.
What's up, Corey?
And you will be able to do quests to also get information. And we do have collectibles too. You can find collectibles, get information on Feralites, and that'll help you to your advantage. and I unfortunately don't have anything to show for the ecology. It's still in early stages because currently we're working on more important aspects of development. But however, these will be a thing in alpha at the very least.
Alpha, not demo. Those are two
I
different
know I've been
things.
talking about like all the aggressive
Alpha,
Feralites,
not
but some
demo.
Feralites are really nice too. Some Feralites will just approach you and not attack you. And yeah, you can also pet some Feralites too.
Pet. Let me pet.
Some Feralites
Let me
will have
pet the Feralite.
like unique pet animations. And yes, petting mechanics.
Yes, you can pet the
And
cat.
actually,
you can
this
pet
brings
the
us
dog.
on to the next topic. We are going into modeling right now, and I have some very exciting news.
Exciting news.
Over the
Exciting
2
news.
years that we
Pet
have been
Bomb Beetle,
developing,
please be gentle with
a
Bomb
lot of
Beetle.
our stuff, like a lot of our models, have been redone. Whether that's for optimization or just because the models were old and unusable, we've made outstanding progress with these models. I am happy to say that all of the demo models for Feralites are 100% complete. They're all modeled, textured, and rigged. So, demo,
Type in the chat.
Feralites,
All demo
completely
models are
almost out of the way,
done.
except for animation, but we'll get to that.
Type in the chat.
And to clarify, there are 18 Feralites in demo. Not all of them are obtainable, however, a good portion are. And so, before I retextured some of the Feralite models, I had actually went back on them to adjust and optimize their model itself. Now the majority of Feralite models have ideal model stuff, and I like to keep how the Feralite moves in mind when modeling these. So actually, I've started to implement actual mouths on Feralites, so they can move and open and close their mouth properly. Examples being Wiveworm, Babine, and another one that's unrevealed yet. However, I am also expanding on my abilities and skills, and with Skitlamander, I did something. I made it so Skitlamander can frown, he can smile, he can have a neutral expression, he can open and close his mouth. So, my whole point with all of this is to make Feralites more expressive, which goes back on the ecology stuff. We want this to be realistic, optimized, etc., etc. And now, I currently have over 25 Feralites fully done. Fully done, and 18 of those are for demo. And I individually create all the Feralite textures. All of the Feralite textures are
She hard carries.
made by me.
She hard carries.
And I like to put details into them. However, I am getting faster in making them, so these models are not taking too much time for me to finalize. And with the textures, actually, we can add more details onto the Feralites. So that means more detailed Feralites, better looking Feralites, of course, and more creative designs. And so actually, right now is the time where I want to show you guys
Joe?
the
Something?
The Fuba model, and
Fuba
I'll also
model.
post this too for people to see. Our alpha version will have over 40 plus Feralites as well. I forgot to mention that,
40 with-
and that
there
includes
you go.
evolutions too. So Fuba, I was being really creative with Fuba. I had an idea, and this idea will expand onto other Feralites.
And notice how this says new,
Basically,
total.
instead of just having
the
Fuba
18
be
with the demo
entirely
plus
a
40
regular texture,
more
I decided to go on a more
top of
quote
that.
unquote realistic route.
Hannah.
And
Hannah.
hi.
Oh,
40
wait, never mind.
Okay. Okay. So, Fuba, his mask is detailed. Its mask has textures that, well, realistic textures, quote unquote. And so these textures will not
Fuba.
impact optimization at all. These will not cause any lag or anything. And the whole point of the mask looking like that is to show that Fuba isn't like the mask is not the Feralite, it's Fuba. Kind of like an item it has. I'm hoping we can do more like this with other Feralite models. Because honestly, I think it looks really, really cool, and
Fuba
it stands
is
out
one
quite
of
a
my
bit.
favorite, like,
Especially if you
models.
find a Fuba in the wild, you can see it's got this cool looking mask. So, anyways, although I have like all the regular textures for the Feralites in demo done, I do not have all of the prismatic textures done, and we will explain why later. However, I do have one Feralite with the prismatic that I have finished.
Oh, you're sharing that right now. Okay,
And I will post that in devlog right away.
here we go. A new prismatic being revealed. Hype.
Okay, so here's Prismatic Plorm. Prismatic Plorm was
Prismatic
actually
Plorm.
Made by Nothing to See Here again, and I had adapted it to look like a prismatic, and our prismatics actually have slightly different inspirations of sort from the original. The original Plorm is based off of Planaria, so the prismatic right now is based off like a regular cell. And yeah, it could be a chloroplast. It's just any cell really. And actually, now is a good time to mention that I will be accepting any suggestions for prismatics. If you are wanting to suggest prismatics, you can make a drawing.
I agree.
You can give a simple description, a color palette, etc., and put it in suggestions. I look through suggestions on almost a daily basis, so I will be able to see what you guys post, and if I do consider anything, I will contact you. Just make sure.
How do
But I will
prismatics
be
work?
accepting those suggestions.
Pretty much the same as shinies.
And now,
like random chance
We'll
to
move
find
on
them.
from the texturing and the model stuff, and
They're
we'll
just,
talk about
you know,
rigging
instead
here.
of just a simple recolor, they're
You guys
a
don't know
complete
what rigging is.
retexture.
It's just giving
So you
Feralite's
basically
bones so
get
they
a
can
new
move.
kind of new idea on the design when it comes
We
to prismatics.
used to not really have much going on with rigging.
RNG in battle.
We
okay?
had one person who did all the rigging. However, they are very they're very busy. They're a very busy person, and it's just not optimal having them do the rigs. So I am rigging all the Feralite from now on.
Wait,
I have relearned it, and
I need to learn
they
so
are
I can
all
help
being
her. She
rigged
does
pretty
too
fast.
much.
As I clarified, all the demo Feralites are done at this point. And then we have 40 plus Feralites for Alpha, and so far, over 25 Feralites total are done. So, our goal here with the modeler department is, while we're waiting for everything else in demo to come out, we are working on Alpha. So we have Alpha prepared for when demo is set. And now since the Feralites are out of the way, I actually do have another section of modeling. And that is character modeling. Basically,
Characters. 3D
we
characters.
have been debating on how we are going to model our characters, and we have decided that our 6 deformed meshes with mesh clothing is the way we are going to go. It's simple, it's really creative looking, and they actually all have their own textures too. All of the characters have their own textures, and they're all textured by Lori. Lori was unable to make it today, unfortunately. However, I will be able to show another one of our characters. I had mentioned them before when I was talking about Berta. And I want you guys to meet Professor Wilfred. And so Professor Wilfred is the executive director of the engineering of the Feralite Labs, and he was modeled by Gez and textured by Lori. And both Wilfred and Berta will be a part of the journey. They'll be integral to the story. They are not married. They are not married, okay? They're lab partners, and they will be guiding you throughout your journey as you go through the world. And so this concludes all of my sections here. Before I pass it on to someone else, I just want to thank you guys for your patience. It's a lot to come up on the stage here and speak, especially with all the information and the support you guys are showing. Sorry.
What are those?
Amazing.
I was waiting for somebody to mention.
Thank you guys once again. Anyways, I'll be passing it on to the next stage, which is animation, and that will be Joel speaking. Okay, thank you guys.
So, hi people. I will for this section.
Joel, your mic's cutting out.
Huh?
Your mic's cutting out a bit.
Wait, say again?
Your microphone is cutting out. Wait, speak again.
Scuff.
Hi.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Scuff.
So great news. Feralite animations for the demo are about 92% done. Now, you might be thinking, but Feralite World has been around for years. How is it not 100% finished? Like we've
That's a fair
mentioned
question.
before, our models and builds have been revamped. The rigs to hold the old Feralite models have to be replaced because there are new parts with a whole new rig in the newer models. So that means we have to redo all of the Feralite animations. Redoing as in finish all of the run, walk, idle, melee attacks, range attacks, feint, flinch, and aggro. Additionally, we also added cutscene animations for the Feralite, like petting and interactions, like what Hannah just mentioned. Now you see why it will take quite a bit of time to complete this, especially if there's only 3 animators working behind it. So if you think about it, one Feralite have about 8 animations, excluding the additional animations for the cutscenes. So there's 18 in demo. 18 times 8 should be 144. So 144 animations, excluding the pet animations. That's what 3 of us have to complete. So I hope that you all understand the time and effort we went through just to give the players an immersive
144,
experience in Feralite World. Now, I will be showing some examples of the animations that we have made for the game.
Oh, we're going at it.
So this is Kashmir. And Fuba and Waver.
He's a bit floaty here, isn't he?
So you can see that Casimir did a little bit of the float because to imply that it's a ghost type. So there's some characteristics to it. And then you can see Fuba with the mask. That's so cute. And Wyvern's melee attack. So this is how the animation would be played during battles. Since we are almost done with the Feralite animations,
I'm not gonna.
we are now approaching to
Don't make fun of
cutscenes
them.
for the demo. But we have a bad news, is that we do not have a single cutscene made as for now, and the scripted cutscene editor is going through some testing, so it'll be for a while. Some of the NPCs and characters are rigged. We are moving on to the NPCs animations. A brief overview on how the NPC animations are going to be. We have unique idols for important NPCs like the professor, like Wilfred.
Sorry.
Expressive talking animations whereby not only the mouths are moving, but the eyes and bodies
Amazing.
interaction as well. Walking battle intros. Walking battle intros and outros, etc. And not to mention that the player, aka you guys, will have the animation made by us, not the default Roblox animations. Some examples are the idle, crouching, crouch walking, item tossing, etc. So I'm gonna post in devlog. Thanks, Han. Wait, sorry. I'm gonna post in the devlog on the player animations.
What? Oh. There we go. I was like,
Okay, so this is made by Nafer, who's not here right now, and that should be it for the animation department. So
there will be more
don't
than
worry,
this,
guys.
by the way.
The progress is going all right.
It's just
We'll be smooth sailing
meant to
from
show
here
that we're
from now
doing
on.
ourselves.
And now I will pass on to Jess for the building section.
Jez.
All right then.
Hey,
So
Jez.
originally the build, Lori was supposed to represent for the building, but however she is not here as of yet, so I will be speaking for the building department instead. So, right, let's see here. The building department has experienced a lot of ups and downs. There were a few issues that are now luckily being dealt with, and fortunately
It's all good,
productivity
Alex.
is now
We're just
increasing in speed due to
listening.
finally becoming organized with a checklist and finding a building style that works after many revamping jobs. Because much like how we've been revamping our Feralites, we've also been spending a lot of time revamping the buildings as well. Just to make things feel consistent, that is. There's also been personalized jobs given to certain devs, such as structure and decoration work, environmental design, and map making. Better yet, all devs in the department have adopted Blender into their work style, or in the progress of doing so. This will help reduce lag, while also making high quality structures. Additionally, this will also allow us to edit structures very easily. Now, let me just show you guys a few examples of some structures which we have made, which will be seen on the starter town, which we have given it a name. It is now called Demolin Town. So let me just find it real quick.
Is that a new Vari evolution? Demolin? Is that our Earth type Vari? Demolin? Or is it a metal type?
Right. And now for the structures. So these are but few of the many house variants that we will have for the first town. The reason being is that whenever it comes to cities and villages, we want to add a lot of variety in the detail. That includes multiple house variants, multiple different variety in decoration to just make the place overall feel more lively. Now, these houses were conceptualized by Spring because we originally Startown was supposed to be like this techie place, but we felt as if that if we want the Startown to be more, let's just say, tranquil, peaceful, maybe, we went with a different direction. And as you can see there, it's more of a mixture between, how to put it? Nature mixing with steampunk. Now, I know steampunk does not look like that on the current house we have right now, but that's where we will put it on the decorations. Some decorations could be like electric poles that are like lined with vines and such, maybe some moss, or probably, well, if I were to name all off the top of my head, it'll be too much to count. So, let's see. Progress, for the most part, has been a little bit slow, but we are all working hard as a group to make sure that the environment in Feralite World, both exterior and interior, is top-notch. Now, for the interior, Lori has been working on the interior for Wilfred's room. I will show that in just a moment, but I will also say this. For us to make up the numbers in the building department, we have more or less merged the building department with the modeling department. That means members from the modeling department will assist the builders. That will make so that everyone has enough experience with Blender for us to make some quality structures. Yeah. Now, as for Wilfred's interior, this one is... Just wait and see.
Waiting. Oh, is he posting
Now,
it?
quick disclaimer, Wilfred's room is in heavy work in progress because as it was completed before, but ever since we want to update our houses, we also want to update some of our interiors because we noticed that before we adopted Blender, we noticed that all of the houses had an extremely high part count, which in turn made them unoptimized and caused the game to lag a lot. So, thanks to Blender, we were able to severely reduce that. So, here is Wilfred's new room that's being worked on. It has a high emphasis on tech that's appropriate for the laboratory, but also has a side of messiness, which is fitting given Wilfred's character.
That is his room.
Now, unfortunately, that's all I have left to say for the building department. But we will definitely cover more about the building department in the future. I will explain more in detail about what we will do regarding to that. So,
did they accidentally?
now to go on to the next and final department, the visuals, the UI, and the VFX. Ooh, this one's gonna be special. Because one of the images that we're going to show for UI will reveal another system that we have in store for demo. So to start off, the person who represents the UI department is Syracuse or Syracuse, however you pronounce his name. He's really good. He's a really talented individual. He is the main person that designs all of our UI. As for the overall design of the UI, we want to aim more in like a serious approach. Actually, no. Let me quote off what he said. So far, the designs for the UI have been going quite well. Dating back from last year, all the UI that was released has been revamped. That even includes all of the combat UI that you saw in the previous, not this one, the one before, in the previous showcase of the combat system. So the new UI that you saw was posted by Puffle like earlier in the dev FAQ. But there are quite a number of tasks that still remain. My priorities in designing the UI were 1. Ensuring that the UI is easy to follow, and 2. is aesthetically pleasing. In setting these goals, I hope that it makes the game more enjoyable than it already is. An example of the UI that's revamped includes a battle system UI, as I mentioned before, and inventory UI. Now, here's an example of that. Let me just grab that real quick. Let's see here.
All right. This is not real quick. 0 out of 10. I agree, Hannah. I agree.
So here is what we have in store for... Yeah, very funny. So here's what we have in store for the inventory UI.
Here you go.
Now, just to be clear, we did mention that demo will not include everything that we mentioned. So as such, even though this UI may have a lot of buttons, there will be some buttons that will be unavailable to use, but will mainly be there to tease future mechanics. What these future mechanics are, we will cover later in this dev FAQ. But there's also another UI that we've made. I've noticed members of the community request easy-to-use UI, and I hope to fulfill that duty bestowed upon myself to the best of my ability, quoted by Syracuse. And now, he also said... Quest UI. Right. Almost forgot about it.
Oh.
For the questing UI...
He's pulling up quests.
Which I should mention, Feralite World will have quests. It'll be the primary way for the player to progress in certain things. Let's see here.
Waiting.
There's that,
real quick,
and
guys,
here is the UI in itself. Now, this questing UI will mainly allow for players to hold multiple quests. So instead of games only allowing the player to have one quest stored, or allow players to have multiple quest stores, but you can't really see it that way, we have designed this UI in a way that the player can easily navigate and understand how many quests he or her has and the types of quests that he or she has left to do. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And of course, as you can see, there are a lot of details that the UI has, which you are just begging to have questions for, but that'll be saved till the end. But as for UI, that is basically everything. Yeah, that's everything for the UI. But now we get to move on to the VFX. Now, for VFX, the VFX have been done by Maddie. However,
will naturally happen.
He's present here currently, but
no stopping it.
As of now, the VFX is still relatively new, so we don't have much to talk about, but we do have something to show, because Maddie over here has been developing a lot, and I mean a lot, of VFX for the game. So, if I can just find some of the examples, give me 1 second.
Maddie be going in. Maddie do be going in. 1 second has passed. True, I agree, Zig. Seconds. Alright, let's see who gets this reference. A diamond. True sort. But yeah, it compares.
I'll have to post it later once I find it.
Yeah, we'll see how nice it is after it comes out. But like
that more or less concludes all of the departments we have.
Conceptually.
Don't worry about the VFX. I will post that later later, like once this FAQ is done, because there is a lot to show for it. But that's not it. We still got one more thing to cover, because that being how we will approach the demo and testing phase.
Sora casual.
And I'm gonna rip the band-aid off and play a little bit of devil's advocate here, because I've been watching over the chat and I see that you guys are clearly very hyped for all this, but don't set your expectations too high, because, well, before I begin with the demo, there is something I must mention about how the demo will be treated. Before, we used to think that demo is meant to be a chance for people to test. But we have been thinking about it, and we have changed how it works. So, prior to demo release, we will handpick a few people who we deem will be excellent at finding bugs to try to form a testing phase. So, here we are. Before demo, we're going to have a testing phase where we do a quick stress test on the game prior to its release,
stress test
where we basically find all the bugs and try to fix it as much as possible. And then, after the testing phase is done, we will send it over to the demo release. Now, one last thing about testers, you do not have to pay for tester. We will handpick the people who we think will be appropriate for tester. Now, for demo, demo will be left purely for demonstration purposes. That means it's not just going to be YouTubers that's going to have access to it, but it's also going to be people who have purchased the demo pass, which I know many people have been talking about it. Many people have been asking, hey, can you reopen up demo passes? No, not yet. We may consider doing it in the future, but not now, because we currently are undergoing a bit of a process with our current demo pass users, because in the past there's been some confusion between demo passes, because we had an older version of the demo pass, but then we made a newer version, so we're trying to find ways to compensate. So to start, let's talk about what demo will have. To begin, in terms of environments, demo will not have much. Demo will only have Startown and Route 1. The reason being is that we want demo to put more of an emphasis on the systems, because there are a lot more systems than there are things for us to build in the demo. Trust me, there are a lot of systems, which is why we mentioned that we are looking for a secondary scripter. Additionally, prismatics will be disabled in demo because of one reason. To avoid giving people who bought demo an advantage, we will make it so that once demo is over and transitions to the official public release, that is alpha, we will do a full data reset. So people who bought demo will not get a blatant advantage. That's how we're going to go about it. And also it allows us to have a secondary chance to fix the game if testing phase had a few bugs that slipped out. Either someone did not pay attention to it or someone intentionally left it out for malicious purposes. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? Yes, for Demo Pass users. Before, we made so that anyone who have bought the newer Demo Pass will gain access to demo. Obviously, that's not the best way to go about it, because it'll feel the people who bought the old Demo Pass to be ripped off, even with the prismatic compensation, because the older Demo Pass was quite expensive. So with that, we're going to make so that people who own the old Demo Pass or the new Demo Pass will gain access to demo. As for the people who bought both, we have yet to decide a good compensation for it. Originally, we thought to just compensate the people who bought both the Demo Passes to get a free prismatic starter of their choice, but we're still trying to consider what would be good, because we feel like that there needs to be more for compensation. Sorry about that. Let's see. As I mentioned before, there will be some features that will be teased in demo, but you can't exactly get access to it. But before I go into that, I gotta mention some other features that will be included in demo that we have not mentioned. So, the features that will be in demo will include sorry, I have a whole list here. A player interaction system to allow ease of use for casual PvP and trade, which TLDR, instead of you going to a hub and having to click on a place to teleport to in order for you to do your PvP or trade, you can simply just walk up to a player that you want to trade or do casual battle with, press E or any other hotkey on their name, menu pops up, select if you want to request a trade or PvP. If they accept it, you're good to go. You can just do it in real time. So that will allow us to easily include PvP and trade extremely early. Additionally, we will also include side quests for a small bit of playability. For the most part, it's daily quests. And we will also include another type of quest, which is not mentioned in the quest UI because this is a bit different. We call it public events. As part of us trying to make this game be more of like an RPG, we want the player to have some agency over how the world is affected. So we thought, hey, why don't we just make public events? Public events are basically quests, but they are server-sided, which means anyone can contribute and do can contribute and do the same public event. These public events, some will change the environment, and others is basically just something for you to do in your spare time, because we don't want public events to be a crucial part of gameplay. Like I said, you have to grind this thing if you want to be good at it, but we want public events to at least encourage some level of investment so that players could feel like that there's much to do there. But as for the other features that demo will tease but will not actually be there, which I'm sure some of you guys saw that there was an anvil in the bag UI. And if you guys thought it was crafting, you are correct. This game will feature crafting, not in demo but in a later patch. Not only will it feature crafting, but there will also be other systems that we have in mind, such as player customization. bounce, a new way of catching, quote unquote. And well, that's basically all I have to say for now. But we will update you guys more on that in new crap. No, it's best for us to save that new catching method for later because it will be quite convenient for you guys, especially for you people who like to hunt for prismatics. Don't worry, you don't have to run around the grass sniffing glue for 24 hours a day. But other than that, that is all the information that we're willing to share in terms of development. So we will now be open to questions, and I will try to do my best to answer them. So prepare your questions, and let's get the show on the road. Oh,
Hey,
there will be 15 minutes for this, but
I guess I'm the one helping filter stuff. Alright, so yeah, go ahead and start asking some questions. We'll get this out of the way. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Rhett. We'll get this out of the way. We don't... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. This is your thing. When's the release date, Gez?
Undecided. The release date is undecided. Even though we have a lot finished, there are still some other aspects that are very crucial to development that we have not finished yet, such as the systems. We have not finished a lot of systems yet because there's just so much to worry about. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Does the skill tree unlock as you level up, or how is it unlocked at all?
Correct. The skill tree does unlock as you level up. It will first be unlocked whenever any Feralite reaches level 10, and every 3 levels, which can differ based on what kind of Feralite it is, you will get a skill point which you can use to spend on the skill tree. So some Feralites will have 20 skill points to spend, other Feralites will have 30 skill points to spend. It'll all be based on their base stats.
Okay. Alright, will there be repeatable trainers to battle?
There should, yes.
Okay,
There should be repeatable trainers to battle.
Okay, will there be a separate place designed for PvP or trading?
Yes, there will be a separate place designed for PvP, because whenever I talked about the player interaction system, I only mentioned casual PvP, because for competitive PvP, that obviously needs a new spot, but we cannot talk much about the competitive side of things because we are still in very early stages of development. As for trade, we will consider adding in a new spot for trading.
Okay. Let's see. I mean, I guess I'll answer this right now. Gez did say there will be a separate way to, or a special way to hunt for Gez. Here. Will there be any gimmicks like Mega Evolution? Rip that band-aid off.
There will. I would like to, but we're still early in it. But we are considering having a gimmick for combat. But in terms of making a gimmick, we want to make the gimmick feel part of the lore.
Okay.
So we're still in early stages of it.
Okay, as for gyms, will there be gyms at all?
There will be gyms, but we have changed up how gyms are drastically. So don't even consider them as gyms. They are an entirely different thing. However, they are still gyms in terms of you have to complete them to advance the story. But more information on our quote-unquote gyms for later.
Okay. They want clarification, as it was teased earlier. Will this mean overworld encounters?
Yes. We have decided that for encounters, we want to take the Legends of Arceus approach. That means it is possible for the player to simply catch a Feralite if you just sneak up on them. It is possible for the player to get mauled by a pack of Feralites, which, by the way, it is possible for the player to die in the overworld. So if you're not careful, you're going to lose some items. Yes, you can die.
Alright. Will there be a quote-unquote rival in the game?
Not exactly. We will have a rival in terms of people accompanying the player, but we don't want to consider them as rivals because we want them to be more than just someone for you to compete with. They'll have more depth to them, so to say.
All right. How about the equivalent of TMs? Can you speak on that?
Yeah. TMs. We have our own version of TMs, which practically do the exact same thing, which are called move chips. Axel's already contacted the wiki. The wiki person will provide more information in regards to TMs.
Okay. Hidden abilities. What's happening with those?
Come again?
What will there be hidden abilities in the game?
There will, but not in the way you expect. Hidden abilities will be way more intrinsic, so to say. As in, like, we're not going to let the player simply just be limited by hidden abilities. Wait. Oh, right, hidden abilities. No, there will be no hidden abilities in the game. Sorry.
No. Okay.
My bad. Yeah, there are no hidden abilities. Sorry.
I'm sorry. If wild Feralites in the if the wild Feralites are in the overworld, and they can attack us, do we have a health bar?
Yes, you do have a health bar. That health bar, I believe, it's like if you take 3 hits, you die. But we could find ways for the player to manipulate that. As in, like, have more health, probably have more defense. I don't know. That is yet to be decided. But yes, the player will have a health bar.
Okay. Is the full game going to be out upon release, or is it going to have continual story updates?
It will have continual story updates. Because, as I mentioned before, we will first have demo, which will only include Star Town and Route 1. Just for us to not overwhelm everyone, and also to not give our scripter a bad time. But then after that will come the official public release that is alpha, and then afterward we will just crank out procedural updates.
Okay. There was one I saw. Where was it? Oh yeah, on the topic of prismatics, will they be found on the overworld, or will you have to encounter them?
You can find them on the overworld, yeah.
Alright. Will the free prismatics from Demo Pass users be tradable or trade locked?
I would say trade locked, but I'll come back to you on that one in the future. Because I would say they would trade locked, but then again, it's their prismatic. They can do whatever they want with it. So I'll see whether or not it should really be trade locked, or if it can just be freely traded away. So yeah.
If there is a wild Feralite attacking you, can you interrupt it by engaging in a battle?
Yes, you can. The player has access to a special item, which is more or less streamlines encounters and does not make the encounter process too difficult. That the player can throw at the Feralite that is chasing it to engage combat.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and just answer this one. Will there be a way to get our own designs into the game? We have a whole suggestions tab in the Discord.
Yeah.
Let's see, what's next? Will there be things like max raids from Pokemon?
No. Max raids are a bit underwhelming. We want to reimagine it, which more information on that later. It's not exactly going to be max raids, it'll be, well, the concept of raiding / dungeoning will be done in a different sense.
Alright. To appease Jamie here. Can Jamie specifically pay to win? Will there be pay?
He cannot.
No?
No.
No?
No, there will be no pay to win. But on topic of monetization, it is something we must visit. We do have our own goals with monetization, that being to not have this game be pay to win, nor have this game generate so little money for us to not even profit off it. it's a balance that makes things a lot harder for us to decide than it is in terms of monetization. But we will talk more about this with you guys in the future once we figure out some ideas ourselves.
All right. Will there be any other game modes such as Nuzlocke or Randomize?
We are considering adding in a Nuzlocke game mode in the far future, and that's probably the extent in which I can say. The rest is just, it's way too early to talk about that. Well, to even consider it.
Okay. Will there be co-op elements in the story?
Yes. There will be co-op elements. One thing that we did not mention, but we want to try to push through, is the ability for the player to create parties, which allows the player and his or her friends to basically do quests together, fight things together, and do the quote-unquote gyms together. More info on that later.
Alright. Will Feralites have natures? Like Adamant, Modest, the whole 10% decrease?
Honestly, I feel like this is more of a question that I must answer instead of me.
Yeah, we're having them.
Yep.
Alright. Ben is asking, can you go into more depth about the server-sided quest? Is it like a quest everyone in the server can contribute, or is it a quest that only one person in the server?
Okay, so to go more in depth as to how public events work. So, public events, they occur in specific environments. And you can contribute to a public event by basically going to the area that the public event is being held. Like, say, for instance, Startown. There's a public event going on there that's called, I don't know, Herd this Feralite. It'll basically ping to everyone who is currently in that environment, and they'll be able to contribute to it by entering that environment and going to the place where it's being held. And all the players that are contributing to said public event will share the rewards, and they can all contribute to the progress. But if absolutely necessary, we can always make a future meeting where we talk more in depth about public events once we get them further into development.
Right. Is there going to be some kind of breeding system? Breeding, rallying, printing, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we do have a breeding system. Minty has conceptualized a type of breeding system, but it is a bit early to talk much about it because we have not explored it much, especially given the fact that hidden abilities are removed and other attributes that just make breeding inherently pointless. So TLDR, we're trying to find a use for breeding.
Right. Let's see. Are you willing to speak on how rare prismatics are going to be?
I could say how rare prismatics are, but I'm not sure what kind of odds count as too rare, like rare in a sense that it's frustrating to find, or too common as in like, oh wow, I literally just encountered this thing on the second run. So if I were to make my first estimate, it would probably be 1 out of 1,000 to 1 out of 800. We'll try to get a more exact number later down the road.
Okay, so he doesn't have exact odds. All right, moving on. Oh
yeah.
God.
That's not happening. That's not happening. That's not happening.
Yeah. All right. Will Feralites follow you?
Yes, they can follow you.
What else we got? Will there be ways to change your Feralite stats and abilities?
You can change your stats through the talent tree. Well, skill tree, if anything. Because the skill tree.
Natures.
Oh. I'm not too sure myself.
They're talking like mints and ability capsules, like the equivalent of those. Are those going to be a thing?
Not too sure. I'll leave it up to Ide and Speeder.
Okay, well then, yes. Yes, that will happen for sure. Then. The game autosave, or can we save? So is it going to be will autosave be an option or will it just be forced?
Sorry about that. What did I miss?
Will autosave be an option or will it be forced?
I say autosave will be an option because I know some people like to manually save to help their hunting, so why not make it optional?
Alright, hold up. Trying to find another question here. Will the game have a main villain group?
The game will definitely have villains, but there's no main villain group because we want the story to not be so linear. So as such, we will develop multiple different types of organizations / individuals who you can consider to be villainous.
Since prismatics are on the overworld, will people be able to steal another player's? Not necessarily steal, but will somebody be able to yoink a prismatic under someone's nose?
No. It would be funny, but it'll be very frustrating, so we can't do it.
How about functions, mechanics like SOS in Sun and Moon? Or will there be like a call for help or those kinds of mechanics?
Not too sure on that. We will have to develop more of the overall system before we can explore stuff like that.
Roamers, the Feralites that could be found pretty much anywhere, but kind of rare. Will those be a thing?
Yes. Oh, those kind of roamers.
Yeah.
We tend to avoid. Yeah, we tend to avoid those because having Feralites that can appear in all of the environments doesn't really fit our idea with ecology. So no.
Alright.
I'm gonna go for 3 more questions, and that'll be it.
Alright, will you be able to save your game and save an encounter? If you find a rare find, will you be able to save it so you can recover it after a disconnect?
It will be very convenient, but we'll try to make that work. We'll try to make it work.
And will there be mechanics to increase prismatic odds?
Yes, there will. But in terms of having these said mechanics be monetized, we're going to have to revisit you guys on that.
I am not seeing...
One more question.
Trying to find a one to... Okay, people want to know about the experience. How's that going to work?
The experience share will be intrinsic, as in it'll occur passively.
Oh, wait. They want to know if it can be an optional thing. Can they turn it on and off?
Sure. I would say why not. And that, I guess that concludes all the questions and answers.
Oh, okay. Here's one that's worth talking.
All right.
One last one here. Will the whole world be connected, or will you have to load into separate areas, like separate loading zones, or will it all be one connected thing?
We want to make it be a mixture of both, because having the whole world load in, it'll cause quite a bit of lag.
There's no mix.
But at the same time, we know that having large segments of the world loading in will improve the whole open world feel a lot. But we also want to have some environments be separate, just for the sake of lag.
Right.
All right. So I guess that concludes the questions, but I have one last thing to mention, and that is our thoughts going forward. Going forward, we will set up systems in place to maintain transparency, one of which includes a dev blog. A dev blog is something that we will post every 2 weeks that'll cover certain aspects of our game in detail, or at least as much as we think is necessary, and also include images of it. So any loose ends we did not tie up here, or anything we did not talk about in the FAQ, we can consider putting it into a dev blog in the future. Additionally, as mentioned, Demo will have a data wipe, but after that will come Alpha, which is the full public release of our game. Alpha will include content from Route 2 all the way up till the first mega route, quote unquote. That means it'll include the second route, a new city, a new cave that's attached to that city, and the mega route itself. But that still feels a bit small, right? But that's because of how much stuff is going to be in the mega route, because mega routes are going to be something that we want to use to really nail home the whole open world aspect. But more information regarding mega routes will be discussed later. Finally, one last thing. We are considering mobile and console compatibility, but we do not have a solid plan for it yet. We are well aware the majority of the people who play Roblox play it on their phones or consoles. We are aware of that, so we are trying to look into ways of compatibility. But yeah, that seems to be everything that I have, and in turn concludes this. But Hannah has one last thing. Yeah, I mentioned Demo Pass, did I not?
I was gonna mention how old Demo Pass.
Yeah, I did. Both old and new
Okay.
Demo Pass users will have access to Demo.
Yep. So
But we have not found a good compromise for those who bought both.
yes. So after the FAQ here, people who have the old Demo Pass and the new one will be instructed to DM Gez with the links to the old one or the new one. And we need the link to it, so make sure your inventory is public. And we also need your username. And that's everything. That's not what I wanted to say. I just wanted to say thank you guys. The support is amazing. I know I've already said it, but we can't thank you guys enough. And I will be posting Fuba's Discovered Feralite in the Discovered Feralite tab. And yeah, just wanted to say thank you guys. We're so grateful for this. And it went really, really well. That's all I had to say. That's all I had to say, you guys.
Hope everyone has a good day. This concludes our first Dev FAQ. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did talking about it. See ya.
Thanks everyone for stopping by.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
By the way, we're adding AoE Doom. Bye.
Stop it. God dang it. Speeder. Oh, well. Okay, thank you all for coming out. Like I said, this was just meant to give insight as to what's been going on and our plans going forward. So if y'all were expecting a trailer or something, sorry to disappoint, but we never said we were dropping one. But with all that being said, yeah, thank y'all for coming out. This was great. It was, there's been a lot of stress when it comes to this, stressing out about how we're really going to get, interact with the community without really compromising a bunch of stuff, because a big part of game development is marketing. And well, right now we were in that stage where we want to, but we can't, but we already did kind of. And so we have to remedy the mistake. And so this is a step towards that. And I hope y'all just kind of, stick around for the ride. And speak to y'all more on it soon. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Oh, well, there goes my Discord. Goodbye. We're hoping that it'll be compatible for stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically it. I'll sit here for a little bit, answer any more nerdy stuff before I end here. So yeah, what'd y'all think? What'd y'all think of it? While we just vibe here before I end here. Seems interesting. Yeah. My big thing is a lot. The conception right now is a lot of concepts and ideas, but we didn't really show it. Which I understand that sentiment completely. That's honestly that's my sentiment when it comes to game design. We showed you a lot of ideas, but we didn't show you a game. And so I completely understand anybody who is not really on board with the game yet, and I'm not expecting you to be. And so what I hope is that you are willing to tune in and see development as it happens. And so when we show you an actual game, it's something we can be proud of and something you will enjoy. And yeah, that's I just hope that everything we showed can combine into something that meets the expectations that I know are building. And yeah. Charge turn mechanic sounds like stall meta. How so? You have to think about a lot of stuff. One, it's doubles. Stall is inherently harder. Two, distribution is huge when it comes to stall. And if we don't want stall to exist, we simply pick off some things that kind of encourage it. We'll be able to adjust movesets freely. It'll be pretty painless for us to do. Did I ever talk about multi-bottles free-for-alls? No, there wasn't talk, and really, it's not my place to speak on that. So we'll have to wait for another time when this happens. You got warned during that. You probably were saying the same question. No. Yeah, it's whatever. Don't worry about it. They're not mad at you. Oh, you said Smash. Oh, okay, yeah. Let me guess. You said Smash when a female showed up. Wouldn't be surprised. Considering your whole bun swirl thing. Alright, yeah. Oh, I guess I should add Fuba to that, shouldn't I? I should add Fuba to that. We'll have that next time. But yeah, hopefully we just gave, like, not necessarily enjoyed, but just hopefully it answered questions and just cued you in as to what's happening. There's been a lot behind the scenes that happened and we just didn't talk about, and this is just getting a lot of stuff off of our chest. Also, can we talk about how hard Hannah is carrying? Modeling, texturing, rigging. Hello? And also, yeah, she's going in. Hard carrying. Yeah, shout out to Hannah. Hard carry. I need to learn to rig so I can help her out. But yeah. Turn this down a little bit. All right. Yeah, I guess that's going to be it for me. I mean, I have nothing else to talk about. So, yeah, thank y'all for stopping by. And again, I'm not telling you to get excited for Feralite. I'm just hoping you stick along for the ride. Because, again, we haven't showed a game. There's nothing. I should say there's nothing to really be excited for because, I mean, it's all a bunch of ideas. And, yeah, just stick around. See what happens. And with that being said, I'm going to let y'all go. Hopefully y'all have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, night, day. Whatever it is, hopefully it's good. I'm out of here. Adios. Also, excellent point, but when's Feralite coming out?